Yo, what up? This is D Knight, and you're listening to the Pardon the Interaction podcast. My oh my, we've had so much going on. For starters, in case you missed it, we've got a new addition to the Pardon Pie family, Tara Dublin. Make sure you go follow her on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. Also, pick up a copy of her book while you're at it. Make her day, The Sound of Settling. A very fun and interesting read compared to the things we talk about on this podcast. But yeah, we're heading toward the do or die time for the 2024 election. Go ahead and hit up joebiden.com. Get that man like $1 a month or something. Help his campaign staff up and get prepared to try and save our democracy. And make sure to grab like one other person you know and tell them about the podcast. Make sure they subscribe and tune in every single week. We got a lot of things coming up for you this year. We need all the support that we can get. So if you do your part and help us grow our audience, we'll do our part and help elect Joe Biden in 2024 and save American democracy. And this is the Pardon the Interaction podcast. All right, what you smoking on over there, Ty?
Just a vape.
Anything good in there?
No, just tobacco.
Yeah, boring.
Yeah. I was too lazy to go to the dispensary, so I have this.
They sell the little vape for tobacco that just look like the weed ones?
No, I just get this at the fucking Speedway, the convenience store. Got it.
Is it like a jewel pod?
Yeah.
Oh, you sent the picture of your bookshelf.
Yes.
I got a little bookshelf. I mean, it's not really a bookshelf. It's like the cubes, and I have books in them. I need to get to reading them, but I just don't have time. I flip through them. Like I grab, I'll read like 20 pages here, then move on to another book and read. And then I just, over the, well, because they're nonfiction, right? So you don't even have to really read a whole chapter. You can just scroll through the index and be like, all right, here's a chapter on such and such thing. So I scroll, flip to that chapter, read a chunk of that. I'm like, oh, that was interesting.
Helter Skelter is missing. And my assassination of JFK Jr. I think Chrissy took those.
Okay. The assassination of JFK Jr.
He's obsessed with the Zapruder film and with JFK. So
did he read all those documents Biden had unsealed about JFK or no? It was too much shit. I couldn't go through it.
But he would.
He should do that and tell us what's in it. Cause I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this don't take too long. I'm good. I'm like, all right. So I'll count us in. We'll do our thing. Shout out to the sponsor, of course. And we'll jump into Trump's imminent legal woes. Well, I have some corrections to do from the last little 15, 20-minute thing I did because when we got reports of Trump. Anyway, I'll fix that in the podcast. Anyway.
Just to be clear, I'm not supposed to be reading anything, right?
You can read whatever you want to.
I mean, I'm not supposed to. There's nothing.
No, there's no notes.
You guys aren't looking at anything.
No, we're not looking at
anything. You're not going to be like Carol, and I'll be like, what?
No,
Derek. And you'll be like Carol. I'll be like Derek.
No, it's not gonna. It's not like that. We're sans notes today, which is fine. I feel like, what was it, like a month ago? We did like 4 episodes in a row where it was like super heavy, dense information because there was a lot of stuff that broke over the course of like a week, and we don't have to do that right now because there's nothing like that. All
the criminals are taking summer vacation.
No, I think it's just the semi-calm before the storm of indictments that are coming. All right, I'll count us in and we'll do our fucking thing. Oh yeah, of course we have to talk about X somewhere in there too. So maybe we'll make this go quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, this is D Knight.
This is Carol.
This is Ty.
And I forgot to shut my door, so you can probably hear my AC blasting in the background. And you're listening to the Pardon the Insurrection podcast. BRB, yo.
RB.
So he's just left
here's a word to our sponsor, Sheets and Giggles.
Oh, and yeah, Colin.
The guy who I am doing it. I am very charismatic.
I love Colin.
And I like sleeping. And Colin is cool.
And he's hot.
Giggles.
I'm not quite sure what Colin looks like, but I'm sure I'll take D's word for it.
No, he's pretty fucking hot. He took a picture of him like shirtless in the pool and put it on Threads the other day. Yeah, Ty, you'd be all up in that. Sadly,
it's a little warm in here, actually. This sweatshirt's a...
Sadly, Ty, he's taken. So unless he's willing to cheat on his future wife, I guess you're out of luck. And you know, I would gladly
stop me.
Wow, willing to cheat. It's what every woman is looking for.
Well, Ty, he's so hot. I'll gladly share him with you. I hope he listens to this episode of the podcast. And yes, not only is Colin a handsome fellow, his sheets are also fantastic, and you can make wonderful whoopee on them with Colin if he's willing to cheat on his wife. So we had a lot we had a lot going on the past week. Of course, Trump got his target letter. I was expecting indictments to come imminently, given that he was given till like Thursday to come in and talk to the grand jury if he wanted the opportunity to do so and try to clear his name. That did not happen. I'm assuming that if Trump's lawyers haven't gone before the grand jury, we probably already got indictments sealed and ready to go. And I'm sure he'll be notified at any time, which, given the fact that he was losing his fucking shit on Untrue Social this past weekend, maybe he was notified. You never know with this guy. But quickly, just to reiterate the charges.
What's in your cup, friend?
So I am sipping on
some syrup, sipping on some scissors.
I mixed two different kinds of whiskeys. One has a bit of a honey flavor to it, and I added some bitters and some sugar to make a semi-honey flavored old fashioned.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks already. And
it looks really good. I'm almost out. I want to go to the store to get some more. You
can probably hear the ice clinkling.
Are you going to leave while we're recording to go get? No.
To do what? What am I doing? I'm so lost.
She wants to go to the liquor store right now.
No, you can't do that. We hit record. Like, you got to stay. You're trapped. This podcast is This is
Your
like
window is closed.
This podcast is like where Trump is going. It's prison. We just shut we lock the gate. Like, your ass is stuck. But unlike Trump, you won't be doing 45 years. You'll just be doing 45 minutes. So I made a couple errors last week on the pod with the breaking target letter news. Just because of the way the details were reported, it was not entirely accurate. So first of all, Trump is being charged with conspiracy to commit offense or to defraud the United States. I feel like that was pretty straightforward and clear. I mean, with the fake elector plot and the attempt to defraud the United States with basically fake electoral college votes, that one's pretty straightforward. Another thing that was reported last week, conspiracy to violate civil rights under color of law. That wasn't in quite the accurate reporting of what was in the target letter. It was actually conspiracy to deprive one of civil rights, but not under color of law. And that is basically this post-Civil War statute that was enacted to go after uppity whites in the South after the Civil War, because they was like, we can't have these black people out here voting. Like, what kind of crazy shit is this? Basically what the feds used to go after the fucking Ku Klux Klan. So perfect timing. Jack Smith's out here indicting Trump for shit that was used against the Klan. Again, obviously, over the course of time, that statute has been developed to encompass crimes related to suppressing votes and depriving people of their right to vote in general. But yeah, again, that was the origins of that. And finally, there was a charge that was reported to be tampering with the witness, victim, or informant. It's not quite totally accurate. That is the statute, of course. But there's a subsection of that is about obstruction of an official proceeding, which is probably the more accurate and timely charge that's coming when Trump is indicted about his attempts to delay, if not attempt to stop entirely, the joint session of Congress on January 6th to certify Biden's electoral college votes. So those are the three charges, rather the three statutes that were quoted in the target letter to Trump from Jack Smith's team. I mean, we've talked about all the fucking shit Trump's been up to for like a year on this fucking podcast. Those statutes sound fairly accurate given the nature of the activity we've discussed and it's known publicly. I don't know how you guys feel about the idea that just because those are the statutes mentioned in the target letter, that doesn't necessarily predict what the exact charges will be and what evidence Jack Smith will use, or whether that's even all of the criminal charges Trump's facing. If not, maybe those are just like,
right.
Yeah, top 3. Yay, nay, no input on that.
Not really. I mean, it seemed like at the last set of indictments, it was just very specific, one kind of charge over and over. That was more like the New York one, though.
Wait, what? What happened? Sorry, what happened? Okay, what happened I took a drink and I just totally zoned out in the middle of the alcohol. What happened in New York again? Don't hit me.
Oh, I was just saying, like, no, I was just realizing that wasn't really relevant. But like the New York indictments we knew what statutes they were based on, but all the indictments were like individual counts of the same thing over and over and over again.
Similar thing happened in South Florida with the documents case, where a number of those criminal counts were the same statute, just for different documents. So, I mean, it's entirely possible Jack Smith's collected some evidence of, say, the fraudulent electors, and he'll get a number of charges under the conspiracy to defraud the United States, and there'll be multiple counts, same thing, different states. I don't know. You okay there?
I'm sorry. A pop-up ad popped up and started making noise of like a family talking, and I was very confused.
Well, we didn't hear it, Carol. You have your headphones on. So.
I know. I realized that. I was like, oh no, I'm confused. And also, did I ruin the show?
No, you're totally fine. Nothing's going to ruin the show.
They started with like, "Hey,"
the only thing
the
only thing they can ruin this podcast is if Ty goes to the liquor store.
No,
I'm back there already.
I'm gonna make some chicken right now.
Ty, why did you do that an hour ago?
No, I gotta feed the kids. I just realized.
Fuck them bastards.
You just went to a restaurant with them. I thought you just okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that they'll elaborate more, but I feel like, there's so much to choose from that they can just like pick some fucking charges and then be like, well, that doesn't work. Like, we'll just bring those charges somewhere. Like, if it gets it dismissed, bring it somewhere else.
Yeah, there's so much criminal fucking activity that you could just indict this motherfucker forever for a different crime, like every time he goes to trial, and you don't get the outcome that you want. I mean, not that like I would recommend the justice system do that regularly, but I mean, just in this case, this motherfucker's just been on a massive crime spree, so you can indict him with everything. Hey, zooming out for just a second, like one thing I would like to do is like, let's just revel in the fucking victory for a second. Let's just revel in it. It's fantastic news. He's getting indicted again. Again.
Ooh, it's so nice.
Yeah, I mean, just the endless. It feels so good. Or have we gotten bored with indictments yet? I don't know.
No, never bored with indictments.
Most indictments ever.
Oh, you want to do the thing? Most criminal indictments of any president Hillary Clinton. Yeah, most indictments of any president in history. You did it, Charles. Congratulations. Woo! I'm just excited. I can't wait till it's official and we get like the actual indictment coming from Jack Smith's office, so we can do the thing again. Todd, do you remember how to do the thing? Remember the thing with the 04 tuna we were doing last time? No, you don't remember?
No, I don't.
That's okay. It's better if you don't know, so you can like not do it correctly next time, and then we can just make fun of that too. It's better. It's better than if we had did it the way I intended it. It turned out even better that you were like, huh?
So what were we talking about again?
Yeah.
Target letter.
I
got targeted ads that threw us off track.
I don't know if we've ever discussed what a target letter even is on this podcast. I mean, I guess we could give
it's just a courtesy to let you know that you are the target of an investigation.
Yes, no longer the subject or a witness. Yes. Yep.
So yes,
it is a formality. It is the point at which DOJ has decided, yes, you're getting indicted, and they're giving you the courtesy of letting you know, just in case, you're
heads up. That was nice.
If you're considering maybe testifying before the grand jury or something, having a target letter in advance will kind of give your legal team the opportunity to make a clear-headed decision about whether or not that's in your best interest, or if you should just wait until you're indicted. And
it would give the prosecution a nice chance to see how someone who is overly emotional and doesn't have emotional regulation, rather, how they react to it and what sort of stupid steps they take to further incriminate themselves.
That's actually a good point, Carol, and I'm glad you brought it up. So first of all, DOJ doesn't actually have to give you a target letter. They can just indict you. But there might be a couple of reasons that they do outside of just, the kindness of the formality. One option is what Carol said. They give you the target letter and hope you freak out and do some crazy shit. And then, they can get you on that. Well, another possible outcome of issuing a target letter is it freaks other people the fuck out who may be targets, but who didn't get target letters. But also another potential option of like issuing a target letter. We'll say you have someone that's received a target letter, and one of the criminal statutes revealed in that target letter is a criminal conspiracy. All right. Well, if there's a conspiracy, that means that more than one person is involved, so there could potentially be a minimum 2 or more targets. Well, what happens when the people that you suspect of being involved in that criminal conspiracy who do not receive a target letter?
Start to panic that they sold you out.
Yeah, there's whoever receives a target letter is looking around like, hey, why did I receive this target letter and these other motherfuckers that I know were in on it didn't get a target letter? Are they fucking cooperating? Are they fucking rats? Are they dirty ratting me out? These little bastards. And then, the infighting ensues. So,
or they call each other to yell and it's recorded. Great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility that people's phones might be monitored, and upon one individual receiving a target letter and others not, and that individual calling those other people to see what the deal is about whether or not they've received a target letter.
Well, otherwise, there's no good reason not to just call and use words to communicate their problem and solve it with words. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, just the strategic use of a target letter, especially in a conspiracy plot, could reveal other potential damning information from the individuals involved.
I shouldn't try to coach criminals to.
No, it's okay. They ain't listening to this podcast. Otherwise, they would have turned themselves in and started cooperating a long time ago and got the best possible deal. So also, one of the developments last week that we didn't get a chance to talk about together were the multiple fake electors in Michigan. I'm mixing the two words. Wisconsin. Yeah, what the fuck is going on there? Oh, so I'll tell you what happened. Wisconsin is on my mind because y'all motherfuckers got y'all Supreme Court justice. Woo! The state Supreme Court turned blue. Yeah, y'all can undo all the fuckery that the Republicans engaged in over the last however fucking many decades they had control there. Yep. Congratulations, guys. But yeah, Michigan. So 16 fake electors charged with a bunch of crimes, namely forgery and conspiracy to commit forgery as it pertains to the fake elector documents that they signed. They were trying to help steal the election for Trump. So that was good news. Of course, we had heard in 2021 that the state attorney general was looking into that. but then punted it off to DOJ. Never heard back from DOJ, so it was like, fuck it, I got this. Yeah. And here the indictments are 14 years apiece for, well, a max of 14 years apiece for each felony count. I'm assuming state charges, still probably the sentences would be served, not consecutively, but what's the word? I'm tired. What the fuck happened? English is difficult.
Concurrently?
Yes, concurrently. Sentences would be served concurrently if they were convicted on each of the counts. So I imagine, we'd be looking at something between 4 or 10 years probably, for each of them if convicted on all counts. It's pretty fucking spectacular news because we've been talking about this fake elector plot for years now. And we're like, when is it going to happen? When are the charges coming? This is probably the easiest thing to prove. The piece of paper is right fucking there. All you have to do is charge the people.
I'm glad that they're getting this one out of the way. They might not get Trump in prison before 2024, and they might not get everyone down the chain in prison by then. But if they have the fake electors, people like that, the people who are willing to participate in the dismantling of democracy, they're not propped up with privilege to protect them or money. Those people are going down. People will be afraid to do that. That will be very powerful. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah. You want it to be a deterrent. Hey, look what happened to these motherfuckers. Try that shit again, yo. Try that shit again. I dare you. Yeah, but the Michigan fake electors were particularly vulnerable because of some state laws that required them to, for instance, the electoral college votes needed to be signed at the state capitol on a certain day. These motherfuckers couldn't even get into the building, even though they tried. They were like, yeah, let's sneak in the night before and spend the night. And then that shit didn't work out. So they were like, I guess we'll just go to the Republican Party headquarters in the state. Yeah, so they're going to argue that they were misled by Trump's people, Rudy Giuliani and such. I don't think it's going to go over well. I mean, their only hope likely is to cooperate and point the finger higher up and get other motherfuckers indicted in exchange for a lighter sentence, I would imagine. But yes, I assume that what will happen in other states where they enacted this fake elector plot is that apart from the couple of states where the guys were like, hey, actually, we know we're not the real electors, but this is just a contingency, just in case something happens in court. We just want to have electors on stand. The ones who didn't make that caveat, all the motherfuckers are going to jail. And I'm sure Jackson Smith's team is looking at it too. Just again, look, given that we haven't heard anything publicly about Jack Smith's team interviewing most of these fake electors from other states, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not looking or haven't already looked and come to a conclusion. So just be patient on that.
It still sends a fucking message.
Yeah, it does, even though it's state charges.
And yeah, it took me a lot of words to find the word deterrent before, whatever.
Words are hard, Carol. I couldn't remember what concurrently was. So don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad. And Ty's cooking chicken, if you're wondering where she went to.
Yes, Ty, I am cooking chicken and peeling potatoes.
It's going to be absolutely fucking delicious. Except, we're not going to get any because Ty's in Texas and we're in totally different. Ty's in New Mexico and we're in totally different states. So, yeah, there is that.
I hate to have to move back to Texas. God damn.
All right. Well, it was a Freudian slip. I guess we have some good news for you. Ty's moving to a new home. I will
not be homeless.
Yeah, they don't know all your personal details, and I'm not gonna overshare here, just other than to say that Ty's moving to Texas. Excited about the new spot, not quite so excited to live in Greg Abbott's Texas, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, consequences for the fake electors in Michigan, and possibly more consequences coming for other fake electors to a criminal courthouse near you. I said it like it was a ad for Bob Barbenheimer or something. Anyway.
I appreciated that.
Yeah, I can't wait for Mattel to make the movie about like all the fucking Republicans going to prison. That's gonna be awesome. I'll watch that shit.
So good.
Yeah,
I'm going to see Barbie tomorrow.
you are.
Are you?
Let us know how it goes.
Chrissy came to me and he goes, I want to see the Barbie movie. But it's so where we are, the theaters, like they're fucking sold out. And I don't want to sit on the goddamn first row.
Man,
So
that neck breaking roll, it's that bullshit.
Right?
I ain't never done it. I did it one time. It was when The Dark Knight came out, and I was like, I gotta go see this.
I
Thursday
did it
night, 2
What's
o'clock
the
in the
winner
morning.
name?
when Titanic came out.
Nah, I
I
wasn't
was
going to see
sitting in
that.
the fucking front row from Titanic.
Yeah, and then you're like, your neck is like, it's like some horror movie where you're like possessed by a demon, but instead of your head twisting around, it's just like all the way back into your like spinal cord, like the top of your, so you can see the screen. It's insane. I'll never do that again. Well, of course, at least in some theaters
we've got
now,
good seats. So
lucky you. But in some theaters, at least you got the reclining seats now, so it's not so bad. We didn't have those back in 2000, whatever year that was. The Dark Knight came out. It was 11, 9, one of them. Anyway, apart from that, yeah, fake electors, they fucked. We've also got news of Fonnie Willis down in Georgia potentially hitting Trump and his peoples with the fucking RICO charge, homie. RICO.
Mhm.
We haven't brought that much up. We haven't brought that up too often on this particular podcast, and there's a reason for that. Usually because over the course of years of Trump being under investigation, everyone wants to jump to RICO, but like I was like, nah, man, that's just tough to prove, especially in most jurisdictions, including in federal court. It's a pretty tough charge. Oh, that's was that racketeering, influence, and corrupt organization charges?
Yeah.
So that thing's usually pretty tough to prove, except for in one instance, and that is in Georgia. They have a particularly robust set of RICO charges down there, and Fonnie Willis is also very experienced in bringing RICO charges in Georgia. She's actually, if I'm not mistaken, she's handled more RICO cases there since she's been in office than like the previous 4 district attorneys in that county combined, something like that, something crazy. And she's also got like an expert on Georgia racketeering charges in her office working on this. So it's entirely possible. I mean, look, generally the RICO charges are used to go after 2 types of individuals or 2 types of groups of individuals. Something that's like an unofficial, unorganized group, like a mob. You know, you're not clocking in every day to go work for the mob. It's just not how that works. But also it's part of like, so you have an official organization, but within that you have a subsection of individuals who use that organization as a cover to commit crimes. Well, then you would go after those individuals with like RICO charges. So in this instance, the corrupt organization would be, you know, Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Bernie Kerik, all these motherfuckers down the line working to overturn the 2020 election for Trump. And I'm assuming in this particular case, because to win a conviction on racketeering charges, you have to prove, one, that the corrupt organization exists and that they've committed multiple felonies. And in this instance, I'm assuming that there would be 3 separate criminal statutes that she'd be looking at. And that would be 1 for the fake electors in Georgia, 2 pressuring the Secretary of State there in Georgia to find 11,700, basically voter fraud, and 3 having Kraken head Sidney Powell and her team of miscreants. Is that a good word? Or misfits, which is better? Carol, you know English. Miscreants?
I don't know, probably both. Miscreants, they're causing problems. They're not just being oddballs.
Yeah, her team of miscreants who broke into that county elections office and illegally tampered with the voting machines. So, you put those together and boom, you've got a RICO case, or at least in Georgia, you do. I don't know what the sentencing guidelines are in Georgia for RICO, but we'll just put it this way: Trump's old. Any amount of a prison sentence would be a death sentence for his hamburger eating ass. Yep, fun times.
What was your guess of the sentence?
I don't know.
Yeah, any amount is good enough, though. You say?
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably like 8 to 15 or something. I guess I could Google that.
Per charge? Do they run concurrently?
Georgia RICO sentencing
currently
guidelines. This is a segment of the podcast that I like to call Googling. This is terrible podcasting. Oh, look, maximum penalty of 20 years and a fine that is greater of $25,000 or anyway, basically up to 20 years and minimum of a $20,000 or $25,000 fine in Georgia. Yeah, so that's fucking harrowing news. I wonder if Trump's team has looked at the sentencing guidelines for RICO in Georgia, because those are fucking state charges and Trump can't pardon that shit, even if he goes on to somehow win the White House in 2024. Ty, where the chicken at?
No, it's I got some here.
You done already? That was quick. That didn't take long.
No, not at all. No, I sliced it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, you just like sear it on
Brian Kemp will be like, "Ooh, I'm not going to let you out for your inauguration. Sorry." Thank you.
I don't think he has any say so in that matter in Georgia. Although Republicans can always try and like change the fucking state law so they could give the governor the power to issue pardons. I don't know. They might do some weird shit like that. I mean, they basically changed the law to try and get rid of Fani Willis at will. So anything's possible. But yeah, it's good fucking news. I'm excited. Criminal fucking consequences for all these fuckers all the way around. It's always good news. Like, I know if you listen to this podcast, it's been a tough couple of years. Well, it's been a tough like 7 years now. You're like, oh, when is it finally going to happen? When are we going to see some consequences? It's coming. It's a fucking process. Like, Trump's already been indicted twice. That's a fucking lot more consequences than you thought he'd probably ever have to face.
Again, our side is also guilty of moving that goalpost.
Oh yeah, we do that a lot, and we beat our own team up for pointing out the obvious things, like, hey, it was a fucking process. You're like, no, I want Trump to be indicted on January 22nd of 2020.
Do something.
Yeah, do something. Twitter, I hate you fuckers. But y'all shut the fuck up now. Yeah, you disappeared on Twitter. I don't see y'all asses no more. Hey, this shit's just quiet now. Nobody's talking shit to me at all because y'all motherfuckers know. I told y'all. Merrick fucking Garland.